First there was Cos, the vast immeasurable abyss. Two children were born from the Cos, Night and Erebus. From darkness and death, love was born. Love created light and day. The first creatures with the appearance of life were Earth, Gaia, and Heaven, Uranus. Gods inhabited the Uranus. And humans, which were called the Richdom, along with nymphs and other creatures, lived peacefully in Gaia.
This part of Earth where the humans and nymphs lived was called Kalahari, a land where everybody lived happily, and where the main activities were worshipping the gods and hunting. Kalahari lacked of any type of natural features such as oceans or forests, as there were not even plants. The environment was dry, avoiding the growth of any plant species. The other living things apart from the humans and nymphs were the animals, which were hunted by the Reikdom.
There were three gods which were the pillar for everything that humans worshipped: life, music and beauty, and hunting.
Axelia was the goddess of life, and her name stood for protector of humanity. She was the most powerful god of them all, and humans paid her respect by sacrificing the second newborn daughter of every man in Kalahari.
There was Arion, the god of music and beauty, whose name stood for gifted with perfection. He always defended in what he believed on, and he had no fear of Axilia at the time of upholding his arguments. He produced such enchanting songs, and along with his overwhelming beauty, he was able to make women fall for him and even tamed animals in order to do whatever he wanted.
The last one of them was Aeneas, the god of hunting. His name stood for worthy of praise. He was responsible for maintaining the world's creatures alive, as he made it possible for them to be hunted in order to feed humanity. Humans used to make sacrifices of the greatest bulls as a proof of gratitude towards Aeneas.
Nothing bad ever happened in Kalahari, as these three gods made sure to get the perfect balance between disgrace and happiness. By this, Earth's creatures were able to live free from strife for many centuries.
As the years passed, Aeneas and Arion, which were Axelia's younger brothers, started feeling lonely, as there were no other gods to be with.
Thanks to this, they started getting involved with the Earth's creatures. By this, they met a whole lot of women which dreamed of having a romance with either of them. Both brothers took advantage of the situation and became the greatest womanizers that were ever known.
They were ruthless with women's feelings, and they were led by the lust. Because of their selfishness, women were left heartbroken, with no desire of living anymore, and killed themselves.
This situation became critical when women in masses suicided thanks to the goddess' influence. Axilia could not sit idly and decided to take action regarding the unfortunate situation.
She created a rule which forbid gods to have any interaction with other creatures as humans or nymphs. And if for some reason someone disobeyed, both the god and the other creature were going to be harshly punished by Axilia herself.
If humans feared Axilia before, they now feared her even more. She had become so powerful that not even her brothers could defeat her.
Centuries passed, and it seemed as the gods didn't need to be with someone at their side anymore. They had learned the lesson for their acts, and they were unwilling to do something like that again.
However, one morning Arion was in a mountain peak playing a melody which, as soon as someone heard it, a feeling of calmness and peace invaded their soul. All of a sudden, that feeling of loneliness that he had felt before appeared once more as he saw Adara, the most beautiful nymph in Kalahari, walk by.
Arion was sure that he had never seen this extreme beauty before, and he would never forget how Adara looked at him and walked by his side while she sang the melody played by him.
Adara was not like his old affairs. When he saw her, he knew that she was the chosen one to make him happy all the days of his immortal life. Anyhow, there was a problem. Even if he had good intentions with her, owed to his sister's rule, he couldn't be with her due to the fact that he was a god and she was a nymph.
Even though he respected a lot his sister, he was not going to give up on being with the love of his life, and he disobeyed the rule. He used to go to the mountain peak, where he met Adara for the first time, and would play songs which were sung by her. They spent so much time together that when they least expected, they had both fallen in love for each other.
This romance was kept in secret for years, until both gods and humans started to suspect about this and rumors began to spread. Adara was frightened of what could happen to her and told Arion that they could not longer be together. Arion knew that this wasn't because she didn't love him anymore. It was because of fear.
The next day, Arion made her a risky proposal to marry him by turning into a goddess if she accepted. He was going to talk to Axelia in order to make this possible. She agreed with this as soon as he could. He talked with Axelia, who owed him a favor many centuries ago.
He told her about his romance with Adara, and even if she was furious for his disobedience, she understood Arion. He requested her to give Adara an elixir which would have the power of turning her into a god. Axilia accepted to do this only to see her brother happy again.
After receiving the elixir, Arion's joy was so big that he didn't resist and went immediately down to Kalahari to make Adara drink it. He couldn't believe it, that his dream was going to become reality, that he was finally going to marry the love of his life.
As soon as Adara drank it, Arion waited anxiously for her to turn into a god. Nonetheless, instead of this, she fell to the floor, and when she tried to get up, she couldn't. It seemed as if she was attached to the floor. Soon, her beautiful hair turned into leaves and branches started growing from her arms and foot.
Arion was terrified by what was happening, and he felt helpless as he knew that his only sister had betrayed him. It was only a matter of time before Adara became something that wasn't seen before in Kalahari. She turned into a magnificent tree with great leaves and branches.
Now that all that was left from his love was a tree, he decided to visit it each day to take care of it, and he used to admire how beautiful it was. Promptly, other plant species started growing, surrounding the tree.
The years passed, and the tree grew taller and stronger, while Arion kept pouring rain into it while he suffered the loss of his true love. The Reikdom found the tree as a divine gift, as well as a reason to fear the power of the gods.
The fruits that fell from the tree's branches were picked by the animals of the savannah, spreading them all around the area. The Reichdom started rebuilding their towns around the trees, and at the base of each one of them they built a temple where every 7 days they prayed for the mercy of Axilia and the blessings of Aeneas.
What once was a dry savanna now was the most beautiful, filled with life and colorful jungle the land of Kalahari had ever seen. Generations of victims came and continued the tradition. Some things changed, others stayed the same.
But something that never changed was the respect for the gods' powers and the gods themselves. Humanity learned to fear the divine powers of the gods, and to this day it has stayed the same in the land of Kalahari.